Hi all, and welcome to our sermon recap for this first Sunday of Advent. And we are beginning our celebration of the Christmas season. Of course, one of the major themes of the Christmas season is peace, that there might be peace on earth and goodwill toward all. That is the promise that the angels give. Now, where do we find peace? You might think about that in terms of, well, when I want to feel peaceful, what do? Do I meditate? Do I try to put myself in a calm situation? Do I go walk around outside in nature? Do I exercise? What is it that I do to find peace? And what we're taught is actually peace is something that comes from within. It's from a life that is lived with a clear conscience. When we make choices that are good, choices that are about us turning and shunning away from what's evil and selfish, and instead doing what's good and right. So if you'll notice in the Christmas story, the people that were able to handle the message of the Lord's coming, like Mary, the angel said, you will have this son, and he will be the Messiah, and you will carry this child. And her response was, let it be to me according to your word. Behold, the maidservant of the Lord, let it be to me according to your word. And Joseph was a just man. When he found out that Mary had conceived from the Holy Spirit, he didn't put her away, but he was a just man, and he took her as his wife. And of course, Zacharias and Elizabeth walked blameless before God, and so they were given a child, John the Baptist, who would prepare the way for the Lord. And the promise they were given about what John would be like is that he would guide our feet into the way of peace, that the coming Messiah would guide our feet in the way of peace. So it's about how do we walk, how do we live our life? And of course, Herod, the king, who was troubled in all Jerusalem with him when they found out the message of the Lord's birth, was cruel and hateful and loved his own power. So he was troubled and he was anxious. Whereas others, like the shepherds, could have peace because they pictured that innocence, that willingness to follow the Lord. So the message of this sermon is really about to pay attention to what do we do with our feet? In other words, how do we walk in this world? Do we walk away from things that are dysfunctional, that are hurtful, that are selfish, that are mean? Do we walk towards things that are kind and gentle and loving and peaceful? So the invitation is to pay attention to where your feet go. Can we guide our feet into the way of peace rather than the people walking in darkness? But that's the message of this sermon, and I pray that you can find some peace as you prepare for the Lord's Advent this year. Thanks.